You can hide behind the stats, but it's game over when I find you with my 5'10". If you enjoy these videos, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe for more. Also, stay tuned for some funny comments in the thread throughout the video. My bio says I'm statistically taller than you. So, how are you statistically smarter than me? I mean, I never claimed to be statistically smarter than you, but if you misread smarter for taller, then maybe you're onto something. Reading comprehension game is not on point. Writing ability on his part to match. He acknowledged it in the comments, to be fair. She. And if by acknowledge you mean get defensive, then yeah. I'm curious now, on the hunt for this comment. Comments. Can you link one? Just click their profile. You think LMAO and LOL are defensive. Not to mention that 86% charge. I think this is the first time I've seen a Tinder posting where the phone had more than 4%. Or inability. The comeback was still on point. Even with the then-than mix-up, neither person is speaking well. If anything, I think it totally plays in Blue's favor. As they said, never claimed being smart. Also, he said she misread smarter for taller when she misread taller for smarter. And also the use of onto instead of onto. Also than instead of then. ESH. Yep, someone above mentioned that. That's one that grinds my gears, lol. Beyond that, they reversed the articles. Taller and smarter should be swapped in the OP. Also, don't ever inject unnecessary words into a statement. Saying I mean before you posit your point is unnecessary and looks silly. I would agree if this was formal, but I think it's acceptable in casual conversation if you want to soften a statement. If you would normally preface a statement with it, then sure, text is a written expression of your thinking mind. That is why I text before I act. Taller people are statistically smarter, so technically if he's statistically taller, then he is statistically smarter. Since they are taller, their brains are closer to the satellites orbiting Earth, allowing them to be statistically smarter. Being slightly further from the Earth, they experience a tiny bit less gravity, which means time passes faster for them. Tall people think faster than short people. But shorter people are more down to earth, and generally more well-rounded. Taller people have more potential area to think. Also, tall people can get divine revelations early, cause they're like an antenna. But it takes longer for electrical impulses to propagate along their nerves. Their reaction time is slower. Wouldn't it be the opposite though? Shorter people can think more in the time it would take the taller person to complete that thought. No, it's because your brain is closer to Jesus. No, time goes faster for them. 10 seconds for a tall person's brain is 9.99999, etc. seconds for a short person brain. They have slightly more time. That's not how this works. If time passes by faster for them, then they have less time to work with. It's relative, unless you are meaning the opposite. I doubt that whole theory since farts go up and intoxicate them. Taller people definitely have higher intelligence than short people. As a tall person, I can say that my brain works at a greater height than most people. A higher level would probably be better. I'm tall, but spend most of my time with brain near Earth, so I'm not getting the full effects. Kinda, height correlates with other elements that influence common markers of intelligence, such as education and wealth. That said, smart is tricky to mark anyway. Well, that's kinda the issue with using the term statistically like that, especially with undefined variables and qualities like what is actually measured as smart here. It's also important to clarify that it's not like height is causative here, it's correlative, and tall height has no statistical significance to intelligence if other variables are controlled, for hence kinda. You can claim to be statistically smarter than someone else when you are dumb like a brick just because you are tall. How smart you are is not unknown, so you can only claim to be statistically smarter than some other person, when the other person is in a group of people that is statistically dumber than you. If you enjoy these videos, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more. Also, stay tuned for some funny comments in the thread throughout the video. You can hide behind the stats, but it's game over when I find you with my 5'10". That isn't true after you account for proper nutrition, environmental toxins, or any other serious complications that might affect a child's neurological development. Height itself has no impact on intelligence. It's a joke, and I think it's mostly just accounting for age. Babies are short, stupid, and numerous. I'm all for it. Causation has nothing to do with stats. Their statement is completely true in that height is correlated to intelligence. The implications that being taller makes you smarter isn't, however, because of outliers. It has nothing to do with outliers, but more due to the living environments that makes people taller, also makes people smarter. Why would you control by those health factors? If you're tall because you lived healthily as a child, that's exactly why you're both taller and smarter than average. Because the statement seems to imply that because you are taller, you are smarter, which doesn't seem to be true. You are smarter and taller because of a trait that affects both of those things, but that doesn't mean that being taller makes you smarter. You would control for those factors to see if being tall made you smarter, which I haven't heard that it does. No, that statement doesn't say that. That's just your interpretation, which doesn't make sense if you assume that they know the difference between correlation and causation, and in my opinion, the phrasing shows that they do. I said seems to imply you seem to not have good reading comprehension. Really? That's your defense? Seems to imply. Yes, it is. LMAO, what? It says taller people are statistically smarter. You seem to have a very low reading comprehension, homie. When most people read that sentence, they will likely assume that there is some causation happening there when you say that taller people are smarter. It would be a much more intelligent statement to say that healthier people are usually both taller and smarter, as that is seemingly the casual link. You don't understand statistics, and that's okay, homie. Don't sweat it. Sarcasm, bro. That isn't true after you account for proper nutrition, environmental toxins, or any other serious complications that might affect a child's neurological development. Height itself has no impact on intelligence. Indeed, height is the consequence of proper nutrition and others things, genetics, for example, as well as intelligence, so they're obviously correlated. That sounds like something a short person would say. Yeah, one group is mostly full-grown adults while the other is small children, so yeah, it makes sense. Unfortunately, this statistic is significantly skewed by the existence of children. Well, that's not how stats work, but alright. They aren't smarter. Knowledge rises, so they absorb more and appear smarter due to knowing more. But if you put a short person on stilts, they would be able to absorb just as much. I am 6 foot. They are statistically perceived as smarter and treated with more respect and admiration. Don't know where you get the data for actually being smarter though. Age. Duh. I will kick the ever-loving shit out of a toddler in a spelling bee. What I lack in personality, I make up for in height. Laughing my ass off, don't come for me like that. It's okay, I've been guilty of the same shit on Tinder. Don't hate the player, hate the game. I don't hate it, I genuinely laughed. Okay, calm down, this kind of hate will only eat you up inside and hurt you more than it does that random commenter. Don't hate the game, hate the rules. I mean, if you're that witty, then I'm pretty sure you have the whole package. Go get 'em, Tiger. What I lack in personality, I should make up for in height. I don't, but I should. Genius. I'll borrow this and cut out the bottom part for subtlety. Are you going to leave the quotation marks though? I'm as tall as I am intelligent. That's right, I've got an IQ of 6'6". Better to use metrics here, King. I'm as tall as I am intelligent. That's right, I've got an IQ of 191. Unfortunately, in my situation, what I lack in height, I make up for in shortness. I don't know, bro, sounds kinda short to me. I've never met a guy over 6 foot that didn't have a girlfriend. I have a legit giant wiener, but no girls want to see it. Calm down, Louis CK. Username checks out. You've never met me. I have. Can I have the prize? There are tall gay people, bro. They exist. Let me rephrase. I've never met a guy over 6 foot who was single. I was just messing, but if that's true, that's actually pretty crazy. Is anyone else amazed at how quick we flip the switch from smash mode to roast mode when an opportunity presents itself? Lol, I am so guilty for doing this. My love language is roasting. Banter is important, lol. I appreciate a good burn, even if it's at my expense. Same, talking to a girl now who gives just as good as she takes. If I say something dumb, she jumps on it and she laughs when I do the same to her. She may be a keeper. Take care of her, man. It's early, but if it stays on track, I absolutely would. She had nothing but photos from the neck up and has 3 kids. We're both in our late 30s, so I assumed she looked like your average late 30s mum of 3 who doesn't include body shots in her profile. We decided to meet up yesterday to go for a socially distant date at the walking trail, and when she got out of her car, I assumed she was someone else entirely. She's way out of my league, but hasn't figured that out yet, thankfully. Hurry, dude, marry her! Neither one of us really interested in marriage again. It would be my 3rd and her 2nd, and we are both kinda done with that mess, he says, looking longingly at his ring finger. Ruffle. Gets up and checks for the hidden camera. Nah, I've been cheated on twice and have had to deal with the divorce process twice. I'm okay with a committed relationship that I don't need a judge telling me it's okay to end if I need to. I'm genuinely upset that I got married just before Tinder blew up. I'd kill to roast people all day long. Yeah, I know, I could get Tinder anyway just to roast people, but convincing my wife I only read Playboy for the jokes isn't a game I want to play. Look at the top left where it says Tell Us. Opie doesn't need to bang people from Tinder because he's getting fucked over by Tell Us.